All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the first workshop hosted by Girls Play Chicago. This is our financial literacy workshop, and today we're going to be discussing exactly what it is to invest in the stock market. We're going to touch on allowances, and we're going to touch on how to invest in the stock market. And as I said, this is a workshop hosted by Girls Play Chicago, and I have my two daughters with me. I have Maxlyn and Micah, and by the way, today is Micah's 9th birthday, so give her a round of applause here. And if you could, Maxlyn, can you tell us what it means to you when you hear the term invest your dollars?
I think of the term investing your dollars is by putting your money towards something, like how I want to put my money towards Roblox, so when the IPO comes out, I can make more money.
All right, that's a good answer. Micah?
I think in investing different companies, like investing in a company that like Roblox or any other games.
Okay, all right. That's a good answer as well. And if I could, I'll go ahead and introduce our guest as well. We have my good friend, Mr. Kenrick Small. Unfortunately, his daughter was not able to join us, but he was gracious enough to attend it, and she's going to be with us during the next workshop. And if you could, Rick, kind of introduce yourself, give us a little bit about your background and exactly how you're going about educating Imani these days when it comes to finances.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. Pleasure to be here. I'm glad you guys invited me. Well, what we've been doing, my wife and I, we've been doing around financial literacy with my daughter, along with my son, is basically giving an introduction to a lot of different investment options. So just recently, my wife just purchased a home in Virginia. So we basically had my daughter at the closing and gave it a breakdown of how we bought the house, how we went about it, and also just teaching her some of the skills of real estate investing in terms of flipping properties and also having rental income. So we was very excited for her to just see the process of going through purchasing a home and just, getting her excited about that. And also recently started having her set up a Robinhood account where she's going to start investing in stocks and show her some of the fundamentals of how to invest in the stock market.
Wow.
So I'm excited.
Yeah, it sounds like we need to have her host a workshop. All right, Murray family, glad to see you all. Thanks for attending as well. So if you guys could kind of give us a little bit about your financial literacy background, greatly appreciate that.
Well, we're probably the newbies, even though we have 4 kids. These are my teenage daughters. We have been on probably more of a slower journey. I loved hearing the girls talk about investing in stocks. I think it wasn't until this summer when my boys wanted to keep consuming video games, I said, before any more purchases, you need to buy some stock. Right. So and my husband then started teaching the kids. You can join in on that part.
Yeah, sure. We have a brokerage account with Fidelity, and many brokerage accounts will allow you to set up custodial accounts for your children. And so we had set up 4 custodial accounts. And then I showed my kids, they were able to go to something like stockcharts.com and put in ticker symbols, and I would help them understand, what maybe some of the, lines meant. And then I'd say, well, hey, this stock, this is one that you can buy in. We talked about mutual funds versus individual securities. And so Jada had purchased an individual security, Japan Airlines. Anaya, she has a mutual fund. My sons have mutual funds. And now periodically they can go in and they can see how things are doing. And then helping them understand that, you just kind of buy and hold. You don't want to, stocks aren't like Las Vegas. It's not a roulette table. And so that was a really good experience, just that now they have a custodial account and can continue to put money into that and just watch it grow over time. They're teenagers. You can imagine if you had bought Microsoft as a teenager and just, let it ride, you'd be doing pretty well right now. Yeah. So that's kind of what we're doing with them.
So basically, we're saying before you can make a consumer purchase, we want you to invest in some stocks. So that's kind of, we're new to it. We just started, but that's where we're at.
Wow. Wow. Now you guys are well ahead of the curve as well. I mean, keep in mind they're teenagers, and if we would have like Rick and I went to college together, so we've been knowing each other for years. But it's like, think about it, Rick. If we would have been thinking this way when we were in college, we probably be some pretty well off guys right now.
Yep.
So you guys are
Absolutely.
ahead of the curve for sure.
Mhm.
All right, so we'll go in to right now, just kind of touch on what really made me want to implement this idea. It was a matter of really looking at it from the standpoint of, again, as I just said, what if I would have been educated on financial literacy at a young age? My daughters, as I said, they're 10 and 9 and 11 right now. So, if I would have got this type of information at their age, I'd pretty much be set right now. I'll put it to you that way. And as we know, we all want to basically kind of set it up to where our kids, our grandkids and great grandkids are much more well off than where we are. So the idea hit me to say, well, hey, what if we started really implementing workshops to start talking to these kids right now to really get them to understand what it means to invest in real estate, what it means to actually invest in the stock market and the whole nine. So it kind of went from me saying, okay, here's an app for you guys to start monitoring your allowance. And then at the same time, let's start putting money away to invest in the main game that you heard them both mention, Roblox. And I mean, it's every Friday when their allowance hits their account, I might as well just send that money to Roblox because they're pretty much burning it up. So Roblox is actually having an IPO coming up probably in about 3 or 4 months. So they're pretty excited about that. So that's going to be them dipping their toe in the water for sure. And, as you mentioned earlier, Mr. Murray, if you would have bought Microsoft years ago, you'd be good to go. Tesla's a good example of that now. Did you know that Tesla was actually at $80 last year, January? So if you would have bought Tesla at January of last year and held on to it until December, that money would have went up for you threefold as well. I think we have a slide too that kind of touches on some allowance apps. Kind of flash that up and, you guys can kind of grab that intel. These are two that I actually pulled up. That one that we're using is Rooster Money, and it pretty much kind of helps me monitor what they're doing, and it also allows you to set aside money as well. And at this point, we're going to go ahead and kind of touch on, I mean, again, it sounds like you guys are pretty well versed when it comes to investing, but we have a couple of slides that are going to kind of show you some videos with the young lady speaking in reference to, actually how to invest or why you should invest in a sense. And, you think about it, we all touched on Microsoft. We all touched on Roblox. There's real estate companies out here as well that you can actually buy individual real estate investment trusts, rather, that you can actually purchase that kind of pools different rental income properties together. So you get a return on your investment based on the success of that particular real estate portfolio as well. So there's a slide that we have that kind of touches on that also. There we go. So we got a video here in which is a young girl that kind of takes a minute to really break down the stock market in itself. So we're going to go ahead and run that, and I'll bounce back with just to kind of get some feedback on this particular video.
Hi, it's Malia. Today I'm going to show you what the stock market is in under 1 minute. Brought to you by RX Journey. A stock market is where people buy and sell stocks and bonds. Businesses need money to grow. Some businesses sell shares, also known as stocks. Stocks are units of ownership in a company. A person who buys stocks in a company is called a shareholder. Shareholders own part of a company. The price of a single stock can be from under $10 to more than $300,000. The prices of shares constantly go up and down. When shareholders invest in the stock market, they hope they can buy the stock at a lower price and then sell it at a higher price. People who hold on to stocks longer than most, to about 15 years or more, are more likely to succeed in stock markets. So that's it. That's the end of my 1 minute video about stocks. If you want to see more of these 1 minute videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the journey.
All right, so that was, a pretty simple breakdown of how to invest in the stock market as well. So again, as you can see, what our aim is to really kind of educate the kids from a kid's perspective as to why financial literacy is important to children, if you will. So, again, just based on that video, Rick, if you could, I mean, what type of feedback did you walk away with when it came to that?
Well, one of the things that I saw and I like the fact, well, number one, I like the way she articulated herself and gave a firm breakdown of the stock market. But I think the biggest thing is ownership, like she mentioned. We talk about, and even I think the Murray family, I'm sorry, spoke about it as well. One of the things I like about it is the fact that we have a lot of young people that know about a lot of products that we buy. So we can shift a lot of our young people focus to understand that, hey, Nike is a company, but you can actually own a part of Nike by having ownership of it and have young people understand that at an early age. I think it'd be remarkable. So one of the things I think, the classic example, if you look at Sony, everybody wants the PS5, and PS5 is $500. So we were saying, you know what? Imagine if young people knew they could take that $500 and buy some small parts of Sony stock, as opposed to buying a $500 game that's going to depreciate. I think that's what some of the young people are starting to learn, and that's what I really got out that video, having young people understand the ownership aspect of stocks at an early age.
Yeah, wow. Very well said, my man. Murray family, what did you get from that?
Well, something that stood out to me was you had a young girl who probably was not 15 years old talking about a perspective older than she was, saying if you hold on to a stock for 15 years or more, you're likely to be more successful. So her perspective is that of someone who's looking long-term in her life, and I thought that was really valuable.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely right. And that's really, I mean, again, as I said earlier, generational wealth. I mean, I can't stress that enough. And it's, I'm a firm believer that what comes out of your mouth happens, the power of words. And, given the state of the world today, I think things are much better for us as a race of people, because if you really think about it, we've only had the right to vote for 56 years. And we've come a long way in a short amount of time, and it's only really going to get better, especially based on us really implementing these type of processes for our kids, for sure. So the future is bright, for sure. So at this point, and I don't think I really kind of touched on my background, was really wanted to shift it to you guys. But I mean, I've been in the financial services industry for about a good 10 years. I started off as a mutual fund accountant at INVE Investments back in 97, and got to this particular firm, and I realized that the money was being made on the sales side and not the accounting side. And kind of talked to some people and got to know the right people, and in turn they saw some salesmanship in me, and said, hey, have you ever thought about taking the Series 7, the stockbrokers exam? And again, Rick, I had no idea what the Series 7 was, which was crazy.
Coming from a business school.
Yeah, right, exactly. Didn't even touch on it. So went ahead and took the Series 7, got licensed, and became a licensed broker at the age of 29. And I was doing well. And really, believe it or not, I had another passion, which was to kind of jump off into the restaurant industry. And I had a restaurant in Chicago for 5 years called the Negro League Cafe. It was a restaurant with a theme revolving around Negro League's baseball history. And I, in turn, did well with that and kind of branched off into a Negro League themed food truck. And I relocated back to Omaha, Nebraska to open up a Negro League themed restaurant. And I ended up selling that. And thank goodness that I did, from the standpoint of just getting out of the restaurant business. The creator kind of guides your path for sure. And I ended up getting my stockbroker's licenses back at TD Ameritrade as well. So I'm not a pro at it, but I'm pretty well versed at, the ebbs and flows of the stock market for sure. So, I mean, a lot of the things that both of you guys said, from the standpoint of just really what it means to invest, you guys are spot on. I wish I would have had you at a few presentations back in the day. Seriously. So moving on, we're going to now touch on another aspect of the workshop. So this one is another short video, and it kind of breaks down exactly, what a stock is. And it's really it's the ABCs of it, and it's directed towards the kids, but I really got a lot out of it just within the couple of minutes. So we're going to go ahead and run that, and then we'll double back again and, get you guys feedback on that. All right.
Wall Street Willie, I have a real big question for you. Yes, what is it? What is a stock? Well, a stock is basically a very small part of a company. Well, what do you mean? So if I buy a stock, I own a company? No, you do not own the whole company. You own part of the company. So, do I own part of a company if I buy one little baby tiny stock? The answer is yes. You do own part of the company if you buy one little tiny baby stock. I have another question. Why would I want to buy a stock? Well, you would want to buy a stock because if the company that you buy the stock in does well, then the stock price, which is how much you bought it for, will go up. Well then, if the stock price went up from what I bought it for, then do I make money? No, you do not make money actually. Well, why is that? Then what's the point of buying a stock? Well, if it goes up, then you have to go to your brokerage account, then sell it, and after you sell it, you get the money that it's now trading for or selling for. That way you can make money, or if the stock price went down or the company didn't do well, you might lose money. But that's okay, because stocks are a risk and you could make a lot of money. Okay, now that's really good. So I could make a lot of money no matter what? No, if the company's stock goes up in value, then you can make a lot of money. Oh, okay, very good. But how do I know how expensive one stock is? Well, you can look online on Yahoo Finance or any other brokerage site to find out how expensive any stock is. Oh, cool! But where can I buy a stock? You can buy a stock online. Well, but how do I find that exact stock that I'm looking for? Each stock has a specific stock symbol. That symbol is only entered for that stock. So let's say I'm starting a company called Fun Time Party Places. I would choose a symbol for my company that is FTPP. Then, if you entered FPPP, then you would find the share price or stock price of my company's one stock. Cool! But where can I buy a stock? You can buy a stock online from your brokerage account. What's a brokerage account? Well, basically, you can't buy a stock right out of your bank account. You need to transfer your money into a brokerage account because the brokerage account has special brokers that make the transaction for you or buy the stock or sell the stock for you. Whoa, that's cool. But do I have to pay the person who makes the transaction extra? Yes, you do. The extra amount that you pay them is called a commission. A commission is usually between $7 to $10 per stock. Well, not really per stock, but for every amount of stocks from one company. For example, if you buy one stock of my company that I started, you would have to pay $7 to $10 in the commission. But even if you bought 1,000 stocks of the same company, you would have to pay the same commission. But if you bought one stock of my company and another stock of a different company, you'd have to pay a commission for buying my stock and the other person's stock because they're part of different companies. Cool! Well then, if I buy the company's product, do I own one stock automatically? Well, no, you don't, because you are not paying to buy the stock or paying a commission. Okay, now that all makes sense. Thanks a lot for showing me what a stock is. You're welcome. Remember, finance is your friend. Hey, people, if you enjoyed this video or learned something new,
Please like, share, and subscribe for more Easy Piece of Finance.
All right. So again, like I said, I mean, our intent was truly just to kind of break it down to where, you know, it's kids talking to kids, if you will, when it comes to investing. So, Maxlin, I mean, what was your takeaway from that video?
My takeaway is that I learned a lot from stocks because I didn't really know what stocks were, but now I know that they're shares of companies.
Okay, good. And Murray daughters, any one of you girls want to kind of tell us what your takeaway was from that?
Sure. So I thought the videos was super cute. It was adorable. I also think that it really reiterated the reason why I find stocks to be important for myself, which is if I'm going to be using a company's services, then I would also like to be able to make money off of my purchases inside of the company itself. So having that stock in Japan Airlines and seeing how I want to actually go to Japan in the future, I would want that to have kind of like a take back for myself as well. So I thought that was cool.
How's that stock doing for you?
I haven't checked on it recently, but I think it's doing pretty okay. Though with COVID-19, we'll have to see how things are going, but in the future, it'll definitely pick up.
Yeah, and now though, if you think about it, would be a good time to actually add more shares to it, because right now, you know, buy low is really, you know, the way to look at it as well. So I'd be curious to actually find out. I'm gonna take a look at it myself to see how it's doing. But yeah, you may want to look at it and add some more shares now before it pops back up for sure. You know?
Sounds good.
Brother Small, what you got for us there? What was your takeaway there, man?
I think, well, I didn't give everybody my full background, but from an educator perspective, I thought it was very good, very well made. A lot of young people are very visual. So when you're teaching these type of lessons and this type of information, you want to have a good visual and break it down in simple terms. So I thought the video did a great job of doing that in terms of how you invest in stocks. Also the plus and minuses of the stock market. Can gain money, but also there's an opportunity that you can lose money as well. But if you invest from the long term, and we know from being investors over the long haul, 5, 10 year, 20 year period, you'll see the stocks outperform most other investment strategies over the course of the years.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that too, because when we were watching the video, that was their takeaway too. Like, okay, if it's green, it's doing well. If it's red, it's doing bad. So just visual perspective, they, you know, click immediately.
Right.
You know. All right. And so, you know, again, this is going to be one of many workshops that we're going to do. We're looking at actually having like a good 6-month run with this. And what we want to do is kind of set it up to where, you know, you guys are already well versed when it comes to doing research and the whole nine as far as the stock positions that you all currently have. I'm a little biased when it comes to trading platforms just from my time at TD Ameritrade. And TD Ameritrade actually has one of the best education sections in their website. Like literally, they would tell us that for us to really hype up the education section of our website, because that service, you know, most companies would charge $3,400, $3,500 a month just to have access to the financial literacy component of TD Ameritrade's website. So I'm a very big fan of what they have. And the reason being is that there's a component of once you sign up for an account at TD Ameritrade, you don't have to deposit any money at all. And yet you get access to another trading platform called Thinkorswim. And on Thinkorswim, they actually give you $200,000 in monopoly money for you to basically practice trading with. So what we want to do is kind of guide you guys to TD Ameritrade's platform. And they do have custodial accounts as well, Mr. Murray. So you can actually set up just, again, you don't have to deposit any money, but you can set up like a Roth IRA or anything of something of that sort, a minor IRA as well for the girls and your son. And the same for you, Rick. So the key is that you don't have to deposit any money, but you have to sign up for the account to get access to Thinkorswim. So when you get access to Thinkorswim, again, as I said, there's a section called Paper Money. And I'll be putting together a video that we're going to blast out to you guys that kind of walks you through how to sign up for it and get access to Paper Money. But you get $200,000, and it's really a situation in which you can basically buy and trade until your heart's content and hopefully make some money. But it's, again, it's fiat currency, but it gives you practice, because you can say, well, all right, what if I put $1,000 in Japan Airlines and let's see how it does for a week. It pops up to, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, $1,500. So now at that point, do you sell and take that $500 profit, or do you hold on to it? So we really want to kind of start having you all implement strategies like that on the Thinkorswim platform and set it up to where it's a competition, to where at the end of a 6-month period, we'll look to see, who made the most money or who lost the most money, and gift you guys, the winner, $100 deposit into whatever account that they choose to set up as well. So we want to really kind of make this interactive. We're looking at doing these workshops once a month. And the next one will be us actually doubling back and talking about the Thinkorswim platform as well. All right. That's it. I mean, we pretty much, got it done, and, straight to the point, because again, we kind of figured that the attention span of the youth today, did not warrant us going past 30 minutes. So I think we got a lot in a short amount of time, and just really would like to kind of end it with getting you guys' feedback as far as what, your biggest takeaways were, girls, from this. And I'll start off with my two knuckleheads. What's your takeaway?
I never really invested in anything, and I would just spend my money right away without even thinking that I can make money by investing.
Okay, well, good. So you still gonna spend? Yeah, right. What about you?
My takeaway was investing in more businesses and games.
Okay, so you're gonna kind of focus on video game sector of the market?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
All right, great. And what about you, Murray Daughters?
Well, I think I'll be investing more inside of that stock than I already have, so that'll definitely happen.
Okay.
I think my takeaway was to start investing in stock, but also just getting used to the market and the strategy behind it, so that in the future I already have that information in place. So when I keep on investing in more stocks, I kind of already have that foundation for it.
Yeah, wow, that's a good point, and that's one thing that you all will see from that TD Ameritrade website, is that the education section actually gives you quizzes. So let's just say that you wanted to start learning, more or less about options and different option strategies, different investment strategies. They have videos on these particular strategies and just overall how to invest in the market. And then you double back and they give you a quiz. So, I mean, it's really user-friendly as well. Rick, what did you get from
Well, first of all, I just want to congratulate you and what you're doing. I think this is a great platform. I like the focus. I like the fact that it's focusing on young women. Also, just educating our young people in terms of creating generational wealth. So, any way I can be supportive, I'm excited and looking forward to getting my daughter on here and just giving her the continued tools what she can do to invest in the market, and also look at creating generational wealth for her children.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest takeaway for me, is just creating that generational wealth. I think we had a very pivotal moment, even with everything going on with the pandemic, with a lot of racial tension, that I think we're in a very good space in terms of turning a corner, in terms of really getting our young people and also our communities to start thinking about economic development and also creating generational wealth. And I think corporations also are coming on board with that. So I think we have a perfect opportunity to take advantage of it.
Yeah, no doubt. And you bring up a good point too, and jog my memory as far as what I was supposed to mention to you all. So spread the word as far as what we're doing here. So the thing is that we really want to grow this beyond us, to kind of say, okay, the next month we got 2 more families on here as well. So really would appreciate it if you guys would spread the word and look to try to add more to what we're doing here, because it's only going to get better. And that's really what at the end of each and every one of these, I want to look to kind of capitalize and get you all's feedback and kind of grow from there. But I'm telling you, you guys are really going to get a kick out of this Thinkorswim trading platform because, I mean, again, even though you guys have the account at Fidelity, keep your money there, but yet use TD Ameritrade for their resources for sure. You know. All right, well, that's all I got, and I really do appreciate your time for sure. This really means a lot to us, and I look forward to growing this platform with you guys and seeing you in future workshops. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right. Nice to meet you.
Very good job.